am Taylor Meeks. I'm a farm girl from Pocasset, Oklahoma, and currently I'm enrolled in Principles of Speech and Communication. So I'm going to tell you all about my culture, but first I'm going to share with you some of my short-term and long-term goals and where I see myself in possibly 10 years, which is crazy to think about. So one of my biggest and most important short-term goals is to focus on the daily, being the best version of myself I possibly can be. And this means reaching out to people, encouraging others, and just being the nicest to both others and myself. Now in the future, in 10 years, I've thought about it a lot and I've got a lot of callings, but I'm really just gonna do whatever God has planned for me. He's opened lots of doors, such as medicine, engineering, tons of possibilities for me, and whatever He calls me to do down along the road, I'll be doing it to the best of my ability. God has been putting me on a path recently that pushes me to go a little bit outside my comfort zone and talk to people, whether that's sharing my testimony to lots of people gathered at church, which was amazing, by the way, to just simple small talk with family, meeting someone new. I've gotten so much more comfortable with that. My parents also have taught me things that really encourage feeling comfortable speaking with others as well. A common thing they like to say to me is do what's right, not just what's popular. And this has made it to where I have no problem sharing my personal beliefs and my story with others and listening to what they have to say as well. So my culture is more so collectivist. We believe in family. When you think collectivist, think team. It's exactly what God has envisioned for us as well. Since I was raised as a Christian, I still am. He calls us to make more disciples, and what my favorite saying is, make heaven crowded. However, I also have experience with individualist culture. I was a competitive dancer, I still am. I started when I was 10. And of course, competition means focus more on yourself, improving yourself, rather than working on improving somebody else. And while that's valid, and I do, of course, work on improving my things as much as possible, I'm always gonna help others, whether they ask for it or not. And this can help me in my career in many ways. Like I said, I don't really have a concrete idea of what I will be doing yet, but I've really been recently interested in engineering, any field of engineering. I'm a problem solver at heart, and having experience with both an individualist and collectivist culture will help me in any field, but really in engineering as well. Because yes, individualist, like you're the one signing up for the job, you need to focus on improving yourself as much as possible with those skills and basic life skills also. But collectivist culture will build those job connections and in-person connections that can help both you and somebody else as well. So a big part of collectivist culture, since that's majorly how I was raised, is nonverbal communication. And yes, so collectivist culture really, really values the use of nonverbal communication because there's a lot you can say with a simple gesture. Simple one, a smile holds so much weight. This is a popular belief to me, my family, and also all of my friends because a lot of us were raised primarily in collectivist culture as well. And a lot of people that aren't used to that will tell me I'm weird and say I'm the weird smiley girl at school, which, oh man, but I mean, a smile is nice. And I believe that a smile is a way of acknowledging somebody, showing appreciation, or just general respect. This is the one that is most important to me. Hugs are better than handshakes, so much better. And I mean, yes, handshakes are probably more appropriate in formal situations, but hugs seal that. Seal an agreement, seal a conversation. They hold personal value, just like what collectivist culture envisions and promotes. And the last one, this is more geared towards younger audiences, high fives. And I mean, I say it's more geared towards kids. An adult can take a high five really well too. It's just a way of saying, hey, you are doing great, give me a high five. You got this, keep going, don't stop. And spreading kindness, you can't just do through small things like nonverbal communication. You can also do it through mass communication. Think news, social media, it's everywhere. Mass. So a lot of things like social media, it's a place where people can share their experiences and lifestyle preferences, and it can give inspiration. And with disability, cultures can have a much bigger impact. Unfortunately, more individualist and more so isolated cultures have been promoted through this because you're behind a screen, you feel more comfortable, and it gets a little bit harder to put yourself out there in front of people in the real world. And unfortunately, also it means less hugging. But also a disadvantage to mass communication is that people rely more on others' opinions because it's what everyone else is doing. This ties back to what my family was saying. Do what's right, not what everybody else is doing. And this is where you get more of an individualist approach because you're doing specifically what an influencer or a specific person is doing. However, like I said, this has lots of advantages because you can, in fact, share your beliefs, share your story. It makes it a lot easier to reach bigger audiences. So yes, I do value a collectivist culture a little bit more so than an individualist culture. And my family has taught me just to accept everybody. It doesn't matter where you're from, what you do, who you are. And no matter my culture, communication is crucial in this day and age. We rely on it to get information we need to know, convey our feelings, and simply connect. Hopefully our world will continue to use communication, both small and large. And keep up the hugging and smiling. I found from a young age that this type of personal communication builds connections and brings people together. Nonetheless, communication is the way of people and the way of the world. Thank you.